and welcome back to episode 3 of the Build Different podcast. I am your host, Zach, and I have two very special guests with me today. Please introduce yourselves. Kieran, you go first.
Kieranalexis, the greatest Arsenal content creator. I'm getting my words mixed up now.
And Dan.
Dan, Pittsyplays, avid Chelsea fan.
Right. So,
Since 2004.
I mean, it's probably not wrong.
Barely speak at 2004, let alone 2005.
Right, so the rundown of today's pod is that we have two London-based club fans who are gonna battle it out in two different ways. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the Champions League on our parts, as me as for Liverpool and Kieran as Arsenal, and we're gonna speak about Chelsea Villa tomorrow, West Ham Arsenal that has finished like about 25 minutes ago, and also the big one, Liverpool Man City. Then we're going to go into who is the best team in London, and we're going to finish it off with a little bit of a past and present Chelsea and Arsenal. So, who would like to start about? Which we'll talk about first, boys?
Well,
I
obviously,
think it's fresh in my mind, so let's talk about that cheeky little Arsenal game that's just gone on.
Yeah.
You know, because definitely was and will be the biggest game of the weekend.
Like fuck with it.
Mate, Man City against Liverpool is going to be an absolute whitewash. So we can,
Yeah,
we can pattern over that. Man City are going to end the week in 4th, where they currently are right now. So, nah, man, just proves my point that Odegaard is our most important and best player. We look so much better with him. And my hopes of being back in the title race are well and truly back on course.
Yeah, because you've gone back up second now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, second, but second by 3 points. Nah, 3, because we were level with Chelsea. So if Chelsea win tomorrow, we could potentially still be above them because we've got a better goal difference at the moment by 3. But if Chelsea win by 3, then they go back above us. And then if Man City win against you, which I don't see happening, we could finish the week on 4th again.
Because because we're 8 clear of City at the moment.
You're 9 clear of us. Well, no, you're 6 clear of us now. But you've got a game in hand.
Yeah, but it'll be 9. Like if when we beat City tomorrow, it'll be 9.
I'm part of me hopes for a Man City win, if I'm being honest.
See, the thing about that is I know City will want to turn up and play. It's just like how it is with every game. The battle was going to be in the midfield. If we overrun the midfield, we absolutely annihilate them.
Yeah, I mean, it depends though, because maybe me wanting Man City to win and they do end up winning might be a bad thing because they could then build momentum off that. But at the same time, if they don't win, that just gives Liverpool even more confidence that they can go and win the entire league.
Because let's face it, especially when it comes around Christmas time, you can gauge the kind of where everyone's going to finish. Like it's not often that the team that are top of Christmas don't go on to win the league.
I mean, part of me is like Liverpool will fuck it up because you were 8 points clear of Man City during 2021 by Christmas, and Man City won it.
Yeah, well, when
and we were obviously 8 points clear of Man City around about this point as well, and they end up winning it as well. So having a 9-8 point gap this early on is still not a guarantee. I'd say 15 plus.
It is a bit different this season because obviously City, they do have their drop off at the start of the season. Like they don't really start the season well, but they've not been this bad. But City always tend to come good like towards February, March time. They go on a run where they win every single game. And it's just up to realistic. I mean, to be fair, like right now, even Chelsea are in with a shout. Like they're still in and around that time. Like I think it is going to be very dependent on whether we continue to grind out the results. Like don't get me wrong, I was not happy with the Southampton performance, but I said to Eric on last week's episodes, it is those results where you go away from home, you don't play well, and you still get a result that win you a league title. And it's a massive game tomorrow. I'm not going into it thinking we are going to smash them because City will be up for it. it's going to be the first 20 minutes. If we score inside the first 20 minutes, that is going to open up the game where City will want to attack us. And then that's how we kill it off. So if we don't score in the first 20 minutes, I could see it being a 1-2 2-0 win. I don't see City scoring because Haaland at Anfield doesn't score. I mean, I'm going into it a bit nervous because obviously Konate is out. He's going to be out for 6 weeks. But we do have Joe Gomez and we do have Jarrell Quansah, who are both good enough to slot in to that role next to Van Dijk.
Hey, Quansah's too busy chatting up Astrid Wet, bro. He's not focused on football right now.
That's why I'd rather it be
You know
Joe
what I mean?
Gomez. That's why I'd rather it be Joe Gomez. But,
That's the only thing he's sliding into is the DMs, not a tackle. Come on.
But no, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like Konate being out for 6 weeks is going to be a big miss, but it's a chance for Joe Gomez to show that he's still good enough to play. Like I've been saying all season, I wouldn't play at left back because Robertson and Tsimikas just aren't good enough anymore.
Yeah, that Saka put him on his arse, confirmed that for me.
Yeah, no, I still have nightmares about it. What are your thoughts going into Chelsea Villa tomorrow, Dan?
Quite confidently. Got feeling it's going to be like 3-1 Chelsea. Obviously, we've had a good run of form. It just depends on whether our players want to show up on time. Villa, can't take anything away from them. They've been a quality side this season so far. They've shown their potential when people have said they're going to get whitewashed. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, we've got some quality players on the pitch, but with the run of form that we've been having in other competitions, not to mention, it depends on who we play, because we've had some players that have shown their worth, but they're not getting the game time. We have a lot of rotation in the team, so if we play the right team, it could be an interesting battle. But I think we'll come good. I think we'll come out on top. We'll get the 3 points. I don't think we'll get the 3 goals difference to get us back ahead of Arsenal. But I think we'll only be one goal difference behind him. I think we'll beat him by at least 2 goals. But yeah, it just genuinely depends on the team we play, who turns up. Because as we've seen in the last 2 games, we've got so used to relying on Cole Palmer this season, and he's not shown up. We've still got the results to show that as a team, we are good enough, but we're just missing that last attacking oomph to get us comfortable, should we say. We've had some outstanding players playing. Enzo Fernandez has been on and off, but as long as we have Caicedo holding that midfield,
that's what I was going to say.
we should be able to control them.
I was going to say Caicedo has been. I wouldn't say he's paid back his fee just yet, but he's well on his way to do it. By the end of the season, he genuinely could look like a £150 million player. I think he's been absolutely fantastic this season.
Yeah, when we first got him, the fee we paid, I thought
he was
no, I wouldn't have even paid. I wouldn't have even paid a baby bottle for him. Like honestly, it was awful. But he's really come into his comfort zone. Obviously, in the past, I believe it's this last week, he's just had a baby. So hopefully his mindset isn't too focused on. Obviously, your mind's going to be on your family,
of course,
but he has to focus on the game at hand.
Yeah,
and as long as he can control that midfield, as long as he can control that midfield, keep his head up, we should be in with a good chance to be dominant in that game. I mean, Nicholas Jackson, great run of form, 7 goals in the Premier League so far. I saw a stat the other day. He's got 25% goals to shot ratio,
that's not
which
is
it's
not terrible.
It's not terrible. But then you compare it to some of the other players in the league. You got Haaland, who was on like 11%.
Yeah.
And we all know the noise around Haaland. Mohamed Salah, 23%. And look at how good Salah's been for Liverpool.
I mean, that's what it's like. It's what me and Kieran were saying in the DMs, because we were talking about Saka. About it was the 20 assists in a season, wasn't it, Kieran? That Saka's well on his way to breaking that record, and I was like, Saka of the league this season's got 15 goals and assists, and he's only one behind Salah, who's got 16, and Salah's been touted as the best player in the world this season. So it just shows like Saka is well and truly getting to the time where he's getting onto that level. I don't think he's there yet.
No.
because he like
It's got
it sounds bad, and obviously it kind of like takes away from my whole Gerrard thing, but I think until you win like a major trophy, you can't be touted as being. I can say you can be world class.
I mean, he has won a major trophy.
Yeah, but like one of the top two, like the FA Cup is
Yeah,
still,
no,
it's like
no, I
third,
get,
but like
I get that. But
Champions
like,
League
the one thing that jars me that rival fans say, yeah, is especially when Arsenal won the Community Shield twice, right? Everyone's like, oh, it's a dinner plate thing, right? And it's like our opinions as football fans on the Community Shield means nothing.
Yeah.
Because all of our teams put the Community Shield in their trophy cabinet record room.
Yeah.
So if we don't see it as a trophy, it doesn't mean anything because all of our clubs do. So technically, Saka has won 3 trophies at Arsenal.
Yeah.
So he hasn't done a Harry Kane. He hasn't done other players. I had to throw a little shade in Harry Kane because of Connor, what he said the first week of this podcast. Outrageous. Outrageous. Kane over Thierry Henry. Joker.
See, with like, so when we won the Community Shield against Man City, I didn't look at it as we won the Community Shield. I look at it as we comfortably beat City. That's the way that I looked at it, and obviously it was a good way. Obviously, Darwin Núñez scoring on his debut, celebrating like he won the World Cup. I have no idea why he did that. Thank God he doesn't do it anymore. But
Just first score for Liverpool, though, isn't it?
yeah, and like you can see how much it meant to him, and like I'm still on the edge when it comes to Darwin Núñez. Like I think he's not scoring goals, granted.
Yeah.
But it's like I think we were talking about the other day. Like he brings so much more than just goals.
He's your Gabby Jesus that we have.
Yeah, he's just chaotic. He's just so chaotic.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what he's gonna do. Like
He doesn't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, facts.
That's why.
Like in the Madrid game midweek, like when he's in like 10 yards outside of our box, a little layback to Robertson is on, and he just Cruyff turns Bellingham. Like granted, he ran into 2 Madrid players and lost the ball, but he shows little bits of brilliance where.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about Darwin Núñez.
No, the goat.
Not yet.
So,
I mean, give him credit where it's due. He's a player that doesn't give up either.
No, he's not. But he just needs to. He's a bit like Jackson last season. You could have taken a piss out of Jackson easily, but this season Jackson looks like a completely different player. He looks like he's one of the best strikers in world football form wise right now.
Yeah.
Which I never thought I'd say a year ago. Genuinely, like last year he was like an absolute donkey, and now this year something's happened.
I think what's happened between last season and this season is he's focusing more on the defensive line. He's making his runs a lot better. Yeah. Last season he was offside 4, 5, 6 times a half.
But
this season
the amount of money I won on Nicholas Jackson offsides is stupid.
I also want to point out again he's also not sliding into Ashford Wert's DMs anymore. I'm just saying.
That's probably why. So I don't want to see that picture at all. I don't want to see it. But no, like go off Nicholas Jackson. I think he's probably been. If it wasn't for Caicedo's absolute drastic change, he'd be Chelsea's most improved player. But I especially in the West Ham game, I thought he was fantastic that game. I think that's the best he's performed in a Chelsea shirt.
I think he's performing better than Haaland is right now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I would agree.
See, Going back to week 1 of the podcast when me and Connor were talking about Haaland, like without this goal, well, like granted,
he offers nothing apart from goals.
Yeah, and I think
everyone's like, oh yeah, but his job is to score goals. Yeah, it is. But then you got players like Jesus at Arsenal, for example, does chip in with goals, but he allows Saka or Martinelli to cut inside to get the goals. Haaland is so stubborn in saying, I'm staying here. I'm not going to help defend. I'm just going to stay here. He doesn't offer anything apart from goals, but then he scores 1 goal and then everyone's like, it diminishes him having a 6 out of 10 all game in general.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. And that you can sort of have that kind of thing with Salah as well, where sometimes he can have absolute stinkers, but he comes up and scores 2 goals and everyone forgets he's had a stinker. I'm not one of these people, like, if I think Salah's had a bad game, I say it.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, against Villa, he was shocking. But then he goes on, like effectively sets up the first goal, Darwin's goal, and then obviously scores the second. But overall, he wasn't great that game.
I think he was awful against Arsenal as well, mate. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I'm saying
oh,
real.
yeah. Oh, no, I agree.
Well, because he scored a goal, everyone completely
Yeah, no, I
forgets
agree.
about it.
I mean, to be fair, like I think the Liverpool Arsenal game, I just think that was a poor performance all round. Like I don't think we were very good.
I genuinely feel if we had Odegaard, Saliba, Gabriel hadn't come off in a full fit Saka, we would have absolutely wiped the floor with you that day.
Probably.
Because we looked so comfortable.
Yeah.
But then it's just
No, I
those
would
little
agree.
mistakes that came out that just fucked us.
I mean, if we turned up and we played well, it could have been a different story. Could have still been a draw. But I just think like I don't know what was wrong with us. Genuinely, we just.
The problem
Well, it's kind of going back to the Liverpool Chelsea game. We could have put up such a much better performance and made it so much closer. But we were so tosh. It was really embarrassing, to be honest.
I felt embarrassed for you, genuinely, because like it's kind of like you were on such a good run of games as well. You come to Anfield and you just don't turn up, and like
I'm gonna be real though. It is Anfield though.
Yeah, I mean it's the like especially when it comes to like when the floodlights are on and when nighttime, it is the most hostile stadium in Europe.
We should have beaten you last season and the season before that. And Zinchenko, the little crybaby, fumbled it twice.
Admittedly, though, like I'm not gonna dwell on it a lot because I'm not here to talk about David Coote, but
oh, here we go.
In the Liverpool Arsenal game at Anfield last season, we should have had the penalty. Like it was a penalty.
I disagree. I can see why you do.
Yeah,
I see why you see it, but at the same time, from my perspective, it's like Odegaard's slipped, and obviously when you slip, you instantly put your hand down to stop you from completely going over. And it just so happened that the ball hit his hand at the same time. So from your side, I can fully understand why you say it's a penalty.
Vice versa, from your side, I can understand it as well. But,
so it is what it is. But that Doku one, that was a penalty for Liverpool all day long.
And I think that is a result that took us out of the tire race.
If you'd won that, I think Arsenal would have won the league last season, 100%.
Yeah, and I think we would have come second. I think City would have dropped off to third.
Yeah.
Because like we were both in incredible form going into that game. Obviously, like, and you could also say somewhat the Anfield game. Was it last season?
Against who?
Against us. Was it 2-2 draw?
No, it was 1-1. It was 2-2 the season before.
Yeah, because the mistake that led to the Trent cross. I can't remember who scored the goal.
Yeah, no, Gabriel scored for us first, and then you guys scored. I think second half. I think Salah again.
Yeah, but like but no, I think we've gone on. Last thing we'll say about this is like, right, genuinely. In the end of we're just about to hit December. Genuinely, in your opinion, right now, we'll go to you first, Dan. Who is winning the Premier League?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think the majority decision for me would be Liverpool, as long as they keep their head screwed on.
Yeah.
But then again, notoriously, Liverpool have ended up getting to March, April, May, June, and gone tits up. So
yeah, like the worst time for us is January. We always struggle.
And then your head goes. As soon as you struggle in that first month of the new year, your head drops and it's you play scramble football.
Yeah.
And I think if you can keep your head screwed on in the first 2 games of January, you will go on and continue to play well.
And
I think if your first game of the new year you end up with a draw or a loss, your players are going to start to overthink things.
Yeah.
You won't be making the passes that should be made. God forbid anyone slips like Gerrard. You should be all right.
That's funny for 2 reasons.
Zach, don't set him off. Don't set him off. Don't set him off. It's the easiest way to trigger a reaction out of him if you say that's where Liverpool fumbled the league. Loses his mind.
Right. Moving on. Kieran, right now, give it to me. Who's winning the Premier League?
I have to stick with my team, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't
the thing is, I think in this situation right now, the Premier League table does lie. Because one, not Liverpool's fault, but realistically, they played no one. Let's be honest. Apart from us, Chelsea, I'm not even going to count Man United because they're dead fodder. But apart from those 2 games, you played no one. Arsenal played up until the 11th game, played all season. We played everyone in the top 10. And, okay. What are we saying?
So haven't played anyone, but yet we battered Bournemouth that you both City and Arsenal lost to.
Yeah, but then we battered Forest, who you lost to. So we can do the vice versa thing here, bro, if you want to do it.
I mean, we're still.
Do you want to do it?
I mean, we can if you want. We can if you
Little
want.
Anfield atmosphere. Little Anfield atmosphere.
No,
Yeah.
we'll save that debate for after the pod because we're.
No. It's very much. I think Arsenal have been very unfortunate. You know, we played Man City away, Tottenham away, you at home, Chelsea away, Brighton. So, and then we've also had major player injuries. I think Arsenal have had the most injuries this season with 21. And it's like it's a shock to our system because we got very fortunate for 2 seasons straight. We got no injuries to our players. So the fact we're still in this title race, you know, I have to back my team until it's in. And we've got a good run of games now where we can't win every single one.
Yeah, see.
And Liverpool are coming into a very tough fixture period now.
We're at the back of it now.
So this is, I think this is the time where you can really go if Liverpool are title contenders or not. Because if you are, you should win majority of these games, and if you're not, you're just going to drop points. So
yeah, I mean, just like you, I'm also going to back my team. I think we will stay solid throughout the season. I don't think we're going to run away with it, but I do think we are going to be lifting number 20 at the end of the season. Like you say about the I didn't specify what league title. But so I believe that, like you say, the tough periods, we're actually at the back of that now. So we've got City. Our next 4 games are City at home tomorrow, Newcastle away on Wednesday, Everton away next weekend.
That's gonna be that might be your toughest one, you know.
Then we've got I believe Spurs at home. I know we've got Spurs, but I don't know whether it's home or away. But I think if we come out of that with minimum 10 points, which I think we're more than good enough to do. Like, also, I don't know if anyone's seen, Isak did come off injured for Newcastle. So that is a very positive going into Wednesday. For us.
Oh, it's double game week, isn't it?
Double game week starts next week.
Big FPL points here, boys.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows the Christmas period is very, very busy. But yeah, so I think that we are going to go on to win it. Thankfully, in a way, I think the toughest games for us all season we're getting out of the way. Like we always struggle at the Emirates. We always struggle at Goodison. And I mean, we've got to go away to the Etihad, but how Man City are playing, unless they sign a 6 in January, I don't think that I'll say it like I did last week. Like, I don't think City will do anything. I think they'll struggle to get out of the group in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think if they come up against anyone in any of the domestic cups, they're going to get knocked out. And I think they will just continue to drop off. And I don't think that.
Who have they got in the Who have they got in the Carabao Cup quarter final?
Oh, let me check.
Because like for selfish reasons, I really want a North London derby final. Because I know Spurs are still in it.
Yeah, Spurs.
I think Man United, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Palace. I think Brentford. I think. Because Man City tend to be the kings of the League Cup, don't they?
I mean, we still won more than them.
League Cup merchants at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah. Don't know. It's not even telling me.
Well, doesn't matter too much, but I know they're in it. But
yeah.
I would love for a North London derby final. I think that would be up there. A Liverpool Arsenal won't be good. A Man City Liverpool won't be good. But I think you if it's an actual proper derby, that's mint chocolate for a final.
Oh no, they're not in it.
Man City got knocked out.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, by Spurs, isn't it? Yeah,
So
Spurs.
the quarterfinals are Arsenal versus Palace, Newcastle versus Brentford, Southampton versus Liverpool, and Tottenham versus United.
I would love Liverpool to draw.
See, the game I'm
Spurs.
most interested for there is the Tottenham United game.
From what I can gather, that's what it will be. So the semi-finals will be Arsenal, Palace versus Newcastle or Brentford, and then Liverpool, Southampton, or Tottenham United. I think is how it's going to work.
We're on the favourable side here. Let's go.
I think the way that will work is Tottenham will beat United, hands down.
Yeah.
And I think Liverpool go through, and that will be the most interesting semi together.
I don't think I think Southampton beat us.
Do you?
I do.
Who's at home though?
Southampton.
I'm gonna be real. This is gonna be very ironic because of how they conceded the goals, but they basically handed you that win.
Yeah, and I mean
3 mistakes back to back. It's just
and I genuinely right now I think Southampton beat us.
Fair enough.
Because
I don't see Chris.
League Cup, you only really care about it until you get to the final, really.
Semi-final.
I can
Semi-final got a bit more that feeling.
Um,
I think they need to get rid of that 2-leg shit though in the semi-final. Just get rid of that.
I mean, we already played so many games in the season already. And it's only increased more with the Champions League being how it is, and all these international breaks.
Yeah.
It's hard on the players. I
wasn't too much of a fan of the new way the European groups are going, but the way Real Madrid are currently sitting, I'm fucking loving it. So
I'm loving being the one to put them there.
Listen, as long as Arsenal finish in the top 8, I don't care where we finish because that's guaranteed it's quarterfinals, no?
I think it goes.
Or is it round of 16?
How it works, the top 8 automatically go into the round of 16, and then the other, so the middle bracket.
It's 9 to 24. 9 to 24 to find out the other 8.
Yeah, they play each other too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I mean, you just get one less game if you finish in the top 8, which is it's good.
Massive.
It's massive.
Massive at the moment.
And speaking on the Champions League as well, I'm very confident going into our remaining 3 games of the Champions League. All of them are away games, but they're nothing crazy. I think we've pretty much guaranteed ourselves in the top 8 now. I mean, we're the only team that have won. We've got a 100% record in the Champions League.
We should have drawn against Inter. I'm still fuming about that. I mean, we've got 2 home games and then 1 away game to Girona, but Girona have been poor this season. Exactly. Dynamo Zagreb should be a guaranteed win, and Monaco have been poor in the Liga, so that should be a guaranteed 9 points there. So we should be comfortably through. I'm hoping anyway.
Let's get into the juicy stuff. So,
Mr. Concept squad himself. Come on.
No, so we're going to talk about London as a whole first.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask each of you, what do you think it takes to be the best club in your city?
Okay.
So Kieran, we'll start with you. If you could give me 3 points of what makes you the best club in London.
Okay.
So
I think history's one of them. I think North London derby wins against other London teams is another one. And I also think fan base is the other one. I think Chelsea fans love to bring up the Champions League, but using that logic, are you trying to say that Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa are bigger than Arsenal because they've won Champions Leagues? No, it's not true. And it's like winning the Premier League, as much as the Champions League is the creme de la creme of football, I'm not going to say it's not, but it's a lot harder to win the Premier League than it is to win the Champions League. Because Premier League, you have to be consistent over 38 games throughout the whole year. Champions League, you can get a Man City group that they normally get. You can get... When Chelsea and Man City got to the final, Chelsea were on the harder end of that group, that run to it. Yeah. Man City had a really easy run to it. So it's based on luck of fixtures. Obviously, Arsenal have won more Premier League / Division 1 titles. We've won more FA Cups. I think Chelsea have won more League Cups, but we never really take that competition seriously. We've won more community shields. We've got more iconic players. We've got more iconic moments. Chelsea were pretty much nothing until Ivanovic came in. I'm not one who says Chelsea had no history because they did win a couple FA Cups before Ivanovic came in, and they did have players like Hulle and who's that French guy? CDM, begins with an M, forgot his name now. Makelele, there are players like that. Frank Lampard when he first came up. But in general, if you ask someone and said who's more iconic in football between Arsenal and Chelsea, they'd say Arsenal. But it might obviously a little bit of bias, but it's just.
And same question to you, Dan. What do you think are 3 points that make you the biggest club in a whole? Makes you the biggest club in the city?
Well, fair enough, Kieran, what you said about amount of trophies for specific competitions, but how many of those trophies did you win before 2004? How many times have you won the Premier League since? So obviously, in the last 2 decades, Chelsea are the bigger club. We have performed better in the Premier League. We have more Premier League titles than you in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not difficult when you've got 0. We also have some of the best Premier League records held to our name. Goals conceded in a Champions League. Starter. The amount of wins in a row at home.
Yep.
For Chelsea is 48, if I stand correct. If you can win 48 games in a row, what does that say about your club?
If you can go 49 undefeated in a row, what does that say about your club?
Yeah, but you can 49 undefeated at home.
Sorry.
But let's be honest, 49 undefeated at home, you could go 49 undefeated in a Premier League season, still not win. Obviously, it's not 49.
You can't.
But you can go the whole season undefeated, draw every game, still not win the league. So undefeated is one thing, winning games is another, which is why Chelsea have the Premier League titles in the last 20 years that you guys don't.
There is another massive reason into that.
You mentioned we could have the terrible groups, but in the Champions League, we conceded 4 goals in the whole competition.
Okay, but you didn't win it, though.
Yes, we did.
The one where you conceded 4 goals in the entire competition, you won it?
Yes. That was
what year was that? 2012?
Well,
there's no way you only conceded 4 goals in that campaign.
With Mendy in goal, we conceded 4 goals that whole competition.
Oh, fair enough. Then didn't even deep it that much. But the thing is,
you mentioned about iconic players.
Yeah,
we've both got that. So I'd also say iconic players. So it's up and down.
I think you can go band for band when it comes to iconic players. Genuinely,
I don't think we can, bro. We can go band for band, but we can't go.
That's in midfield. Thierry Henry, Drogba, Echo, that's an attack in itself that is up for debate 24/7. Your defence is current defence compared to our past defence.
I wouldn't narrow. Yeah.
Fullbacks up and down.
A bit shaky.
But when it comes to iconic, I could sit here and name 4 iconic players, and you could name 4 iconic players, and they would be a debate as who you would put into your team in their prime.
But there's one major thing. Like I'm not going to sit here and go Arsenal. I think overall, Arsenal is the biggest club in London. But in the last 20 years, Arsenal have massively underperformed. Chelsea have been a better club. But there's been so many things that have gone into that, where the Emirates Stadium build, we were in 1 billion pound of debt. So anytime we got a good player, we sold them to a Chelsea, to a Man City, to a United, who would then go and win the Prem. And the fact that we were in debt, selling our best players, but consistently getting top 4 every year and winning a couple FA Cups along the way, I don't see many clubs being able to do that. Chelsea got sold for £1 at one point because of how broke you were. That's how bad your situation was. So let's not forget your roots of your club.
Yeah.
Arsenal have much bigger history. And the second, if Arsenal do win the Champions League, what are you going to say? Oh, but we've won 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work. But right
No,
now,
obviously, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, we've won 2, you've won 1, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. Obviously, you mentioned about fan base. Well, if you look at the stats, worldwide, Chelsea have a bigger fan base than Arsenal.
yeah, but you can look at other, like 10 different websites and they'll tell you different numbers.
I
But
was
I've seen-
gonna like interject and say like I think fan base does take a part of it. However, I mean Tottenham are the most followed club. By no means are they in this conversation.
No,
That's
they're only followed because of Son. Once Son leaves, that's dropping massively.
Yeah.
What you have to talk about here is the fan base that's stayed and built up over years. So
But then
Arsenal,
that's supposed to prove with Chelsea. Look at how we've been in the rutter for the last 3 years, right?
yeah,
We still got the same fan base we had when we won the Champions League and the Premier League. We've still got that fan base. If not, it's still growing.
don't talk to me about rut, bro. Trying to talk
Obviously,
to me about
Your
ruts.
fan base used to third,
Talk
fourth.
to me about ruts. Nah,
We
don't.
went to 12th and we still had the fan base. Your fan base has come from, I'll settle for 4th, that's what we usually get. We were in 12th and our fans were still showing up to watch the games that we knew we were going to struggle like.
Yeah, but
We never drop out.
you say that, but at the same time, it's like when we were performing poorly, fans weren't turning up to games because they're like, this isn't the standard of football we're used to. I'm not
But then
going to
what does
sit
that
here.
sound like the passion for your club? No matter
Mate,
what
it-
you support the team, if we're going into a Liverpool winning 12 games in a row and we've lost 4 off the bounce, I'm still going to watch that game because I'm passionate for my club. I support my club at the worst times and at the best times. If you're only going to show up to watch your team when you know you're going to win, what's that say about you? You're a glory supporter.
Well,
You're
again,
going into it thinking, I'm going to come away happy because this, that, and the other. I'm still breathing and I watched Chelsea last season. Let's be honest.
bro, I'm still
I've-
breathing. I've watched Arsenal for the last 15 years.
Yeah, but what you're saying
Don't try and
is,
talk to me about rut.
no, but what you just said.
Don't talk to me about fucking rut, bro. We got
Kieran,
called,
what
we
you
were called
said
Banter
there, yeah?
FC for 5 years.
Your fans wouldn't turn up to games because you were playing poorly. What does that say about your fan base? You
No.
need to show your support
yeah,
when you're winning or losing.
First of all, Chelsea was shit for 2.5 seasons after you'd spent £1 billion, right? Arsenal
Agreed.
have been shit for 15 years. So it's not a case of Arsenal was shit for a little bit and then the fans decided not to turn up. It was anger built up over 15 years and fans
Agreed.
were like, nah, I'm not fucking doing this no more.
But
And then
then
the
what does
Super
that-
League,
Your fan base though.
yeah, because the Super League is what topped it over.
I think it was.
I think
more
it's-
the fan base.
What we wanted to not stop watching Arsenal because I've watched every single Arsenal game consistently since 2020 because I know how to access the games now. But during that time, we were like, if we don't go to games, we don't get Kroenkes the money, they sell the club, someone else buys it, we can then move on. Obviously, that didn't happen. We are performing well. People like me who were watching Mustafi, Socrates, and David Luiz can now no longer get a fucking ticket because all the couch supporters have decided to come back.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that has pissed me off since Arsenal have got good again is that all the people who are at home not wanting to watch the games are now coming back to the games. But don't talk to me about rot. Do not.
What
Do
you
not.
said about fans not wanting to show up because of certain reasons, wanting to hand the club over to different owners, yeah? Look at us, for example. We went on a 2.5 season shambles. But what happened in those 2.5 seasons? We got rid of a manager an owner, because of his political views in other situations. And then the club went downhill. If we had kept him, would we have gone downhill the same route? No, we would have continued to invest our money the same way we were before. We had new owners come in who have no idea on how to manage a club because they're Americans, and no offense to the American viewers if there are any, but your knowledge on football is let's throw some money at a name.
Soccer. Let's go
All
play
three of
soccer.
us owned by Americans.
That
All
name
three
is
of
like a
us owned by
Kedavra.
Americans.
If you say soccer, you deserve to be buried. Let's be honest. Your version of football involves throwing. Our version of football involves playing with a ball at your feet.
Yeah,
So
this is
soccer,
the debate, mate.
But let's be honest. We had a 2.5 season shambles when we were going through a whole change at the club from top to bottom. We ended up throwing stupid money at players that, Caicedo, for example, I would not in a million of years have said that was his price tag. And he's starting to live up to the expectations that we were expecting 2 seasons ago. But with the right manager, the right owner, the right members at the club, we were spending money where it was adequate, where we could sit there and go, we've paid this for this player because, and it was shown. So our fan base is stuck by us, even with the massive club changes that have been going through.
To be about club changes, man. Come on now. You're trying to tell a Liverpool and Arsenal fan about club changes. We lived in 8th place for 5 seasons, both of us.
Okay, and we lived in 12th last season. So,
bro, you were shit for 2 seasons. Come on, man. Don't try to talk about rot, man.
You're still shit now. Let's be honest.
Try to chat to me about the Kenny Dalglish era, mate.
Ooh. Let's not. I don't want you to cry and scream, Zach. That's not it's not fair on you.
Like, having Fernando Torres is still coming 8th consistently is wild. Woof.
That's right, thank you.
You didn't think I've forgotten, did you? Hey?
That's thank you. But no, yeah, I mean, both very valid points. I'm going to give my little sixpence on.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm going to give my little sixpence on. So for me, the biggest club in London is Arsenal.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
So I'm done.
Don't rage quit now. Don't bottle it. Don't bottle it. Don't be a Spurs fan. Don't bottle it.
I think so. From a perspective, I think the only city you actually can debate, like in base of bit of like of how big the club is London, because obviously in Liverpool is clearly the biggest. In Manchester, even though City are running up, Manchester United is still the biggest club. Still the biggest club in England. Newcastle, it's Newcastle. I mean, Birmingham, you can somewhat have a bit of a debate about, but it's Villa.
It's Aston Villa.
It's Villa.
Aston Villa's player.
But for me, I think Arsenal, for me, having the history behind them, still, like Kieran said, the consistency of even when you were down bad before you started finishing 8th and stuff, you were still consistently getting top 4. I think that plays a part in it. And Chelsea, even though they had some kind of relevance in like towards the end of the 90s, they didn't really hit proper relevancy until the Abramovich and the Mourinho era. Whereas Arsenal have always been in and around since the start of the Premier League era, to be honest.
Bro, we've been around since the 1930s, bro.
Yeah, but I'd say, have they really been around since Wenger left? You've got a manager in now that's keeping your team held with glue, but what manager other than Wenger and Arteta have you had in the last 20 years or so?
Let me ask you a question, right? Because if you look at when Ten Hag came into United, when Slot came into Liverpool, when you've had 15 managers come into your club, right? If you look at the team Arteta had, that genuinely might be one of the worst teams any Big Six teams had. Apart from Aubameyang, Saka, and I don't even fucking know about this point. I've erased that from my memory now. Worst team I've ever seen in my lifetime as an Arsenal fan, right? When we had Shamak, we were still doing bits. When we had Marwan, man, don't know about Mariam Shamak, bro.
Don't know about Marwan.
Like, the fact that he went from a backline of Jenkinson, Mustafi, David Luiz, and Socrates to one of the greatest partnerships in world football right now, competing against Man City, competing against Liverpool. You know, as an Arsenal fan, yeah, we haven't won anything in this time period apart from the FA Cup. But I'm seeing Arsenal being consistent, because when we went into the first title race, I was like, we're going to fall off next year. We didn't fall off. Didn't win it, still win it. This season again, same thing. So if we don't win anything, it depends on the context of what we have, what we did. So if we get semi-final of Champions League, semi-final of the Carabao Cup, come second, and then semi-final of the FA Cup, can you sack Arteta for that? No. If we come last 16 of FA Cup, come 4th, knocked out early stages and everything else, that's where I go, yeah, cool, sack him. But the progress I've seen from my club from 2020 to now, crazy.
Yeah, it's
Agreed.
it has been a
You
massive.
haven't- But then you mentioned what you've just said there, but in 5 years you've won the FA Cup, yeah, with Arteta.
Two community
In that
shields.
same and 2 community shields. In that same time period, United have won the FA Cup
And World
Mhm.
Cup.
with Ten Hag. And look at how that ended with Ten Hag. Now, in my eyes, I think if in this season and next,
Yeah.
you don't win a Premier League, a Champions League, something significant,
Yeah.
I don't, as you said with other, like the Champions League, you could get a group of absolute shitters
Yeah.
and it could be an easy breeze. Same with the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So
The
you've won the
difference.
field in the FA Cup. If
Yeah.
Arteta doesn't come through with a major trophy that isn't something that is the Champions League, the Prem, something
Yeah.
massive, I genuinely think you need to relook at who is managing the club and what.
I'd be saying like, is he the right man for the job?
I personally think we either win either the Premier League, FA Cup, or Champions League, and if we don't win either of those, we have to win the League Cup and FA Cup double.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to remember when Arsenal won the FA Cup, that's all we had to play for, right? So that's what we focused on. Last couple of seasons, we've been focused on the Premier League and Champions League, and we've pushed those other competitions out the window.
I don't think really you're that focused on the Champions League as much as you are the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an Arsenal fan, as much as I wish Arsenal could have a Champions League, I would much rather have a Premier League right now. Because the Premier League, for me, as an English person watching my country's top division, that's what's more important to me than Champions League. Because it shows you've consistently been the best team in our entire country over a 38-game season.
See, that's what I'm like leading up to when we won the league in 1920. That's what I wanted. I wanted the Premier League, and obviously because it was something that I'd never seen in my lifetime as a Liverpool fan. And obviously I saw that, so now I'm at the point where I don't mind either.
Yeah. Because you've seen it now, but
yeah, I mean I'm lucky enough to say as a Liverpool fan, I'm still young as well. I've seen my club win every single trophy that is possible, and I'm lucky enough to say that. We're going back to even yes, I was 2 years old, but the UEFA Cup in 2001.
Oh yeah, actually, fuck that, right? Arsenal have won a Europa League, thank you very much, before it got renamed. So let's cut this. Arsenal haven't won European trophies, bollocks, because we've won that and we won a European Cup Winners' Cup. So all of you, shut up, okay? Let's just put that out to bed, okay? There's fucking no European pedigree.
But no, yeah.
Sorry, it just jars me so much when fans say that we've won it.
But please don't say that again, because then Connor's going to start piping up about Tottenham, and we don't want that.
No, but Tottenham have won 2 Europa Leagues. That's a sad reality of the situation they have. But at the same time, his team are still dog shit. So let's not, right? If we could replace anyone in the Big Six, it would be Spurs without question.
Yeah.
Spurs are only in the Big Six because of the amount of money they make per year. That's it. Let's not fuck around here. Okay? Cool.
Yeah.
Trophyless and titleless.
I think we all agree on that, to be honest. Right.
Spurs are Man City are bigger than Spurs. I don't care what Spurs fans say. They've overtaken them now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Is there anything that you guys would like to add on about why you think, respectively, Arsenal and Chelsea are the biggest club in London, or do you think you've covered everything?
I think I've personally covered everything. I don't think our opinions are ever going to change.
No, definitely not.
No, of course. It's just it's interesting to see the perspectives from both different fans on what they think it is and all that stuff. So shall we get into the fun part where fists might fly? Combined 11. So I'll explain the rules. So it is going to be Kieran and Dan's team. However, if they really can't agree on something, I will have the final vote, and it'll be my player that I choose that will go into the team. Have you both decided that you're going to go for a 4-3-3?
Yes, I think.
Are you going to?
I'd rather go for a 4-4-2, but it depends on whether you will allow certain players in specific positions.
When we get to that point, we'll debate it.
Well, yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
what we'll do then is we'll do the goalkeeper in the back four, and then we'll discuss whether you want a midfield 3 or a midfield 4. Right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to Dan first. Can I have your goalkeeper and why?
Petr Cech, self-explanatory. Let's be honest.
I'm assuming that's probably the same for you, Kieran.
Nah, man.
Oh, okay.
Fabianski, the goal.
Oh God, here we go.
No, I'm joking. That Pittsyplays.
Yeah.
Fabianski.
Yeah. I mean, if you said anyone else other than him, I'd be there. But I still think that even though I love Alisson, Petr is the greatest goalkeeper to ever.
I'm just gonna say honourable mention though. David Seaman.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably done the greatest save of English football history.
With the
FA Cup one. I don't know who it was. I don't remember who it was against, but I know it was at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And he somehow saved it. And I think it was at 39 at that point as well. So, but no, it's Petr. Petr's the great. I think if Lehman had been in the Premier League era longer and was younger, he would have
a shout.
probably a shout. But it's Petr.
Yeah, it's 100% Petr. I think.
Yeah.
I think even I think any Arsenal and Chelsea fan would agree that.
Yeah. And he's played for both clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, Kieran, we'll come to you first. Can I have your right back, please?
Lauren.
And why?
Arsenal invincible. I didn't, obviously I am very young, but I didn't really watch him. But if you go an entire season invincible, which people slander, but it's like no one's done it since, so let's not slander it because it's not been done since. But I kind of feel like I've seen some form of highlights, and he seemed like a very solid defender, but also would do what we're seeing in right backs now every so often. And also the other options that he's probably going to give me are absolute dog. So.
Okay, and Dan, your right back and why, please?
Let's say Ivanovic.
My guy played for West Brom, brother. Come on. Now this.
I'm gonna say Ivanovic.
And why?
Oh, the players he played with, obviously, you look at Ivanovic, he's not the quickest, but he done his job, he done his duty, he won things with the club as well. Obviously, the unbeaten, fair enough, whatever. But his partnership with his defence at the time, he wasn't getting replaced. If we brought someone else in, he was still our number one. And that's something we struggled with as a club for a while. Obviously, we've got the likes of Reece James, who can play right back, constantly injured. We've got Malo Gusto there now, but he is someone that you could go, maybe this person deserves a chance. When we had Ivanovic, we said he's playing, and it's very difficult to get a player like that you go, I'm confident in this player to do his job, to do his duty, and that's why I'm going to put him in there. Obviously, I don't know enough about right backs in Arsenal's team.
Did he not? I swear Bertrand played in the biggest game of your team's history up until that point.
Bertrand was a left back, no?
No, Ashley Cole started, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Ivanovic started.
No, Ivanovic didn't start in that game. Ashley Cole was left back and Bertrand was right back, but Bertrand was a sub for the left. He wasn't a sub for the right. That was just one game.
I'm just saying, if he was that good, he should have started, no?
Okay, but sometimes illness, injury, I can't remember the specific as to why he didn't start, but there would have been a reason.
Okay, so we're gonna get to the obviously neither of you are gonna budge on the right back, so it comes down to me. I'll be honest, I don't know much about Laurent.
There is going to be recency bias because none of us really saw him play.
But from what I also like you said, he's an invincible.
He's also a winner.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Unfortunately for you, Kieran, I'm going to have to edge Ivanovic because just
solely
based on the fact that I know more about Ivanovic than I do.
I got played for West Brom, got relegated. Do you know? It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
Right. We're gonna go over to another easy pick. Dan, can I have your Kieran, can I have your left back, please?
Left back. Oh, I don't want to say. No, I'm not. No, go to him. I'm not saying
it. Dan.
Ashley Cole.
Fucking prick, mate.
I mean, Ashley Cole is.
Kieran, can we get a name from you, please? I just need to hear a name, Kieran.
Monreal. You ain't getting me to say that shit. I fully agree that he is the best left back out of both. Like, I'm playing for both of us, but I'm not saying that prick's name. It's not happening. No, it's not happening. I don't know. Also, I don't know if we can swear on this or not.
Oh,
so
you
if
can.
we
Yeah, it's
can't-
fine.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, so obviously Ashley Cole, still probably the greatest to ever play. You know what? I think he's even up there in he's the greatest left back to ever play the game.
I'll be
He's
real
up
with
there.
you.
He's up there.
I would rather have him in my team than Roberto Carlos.
Yeah, I would agree.
He was a free kick merchant. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
I mean, Roberto Carlos, great player, but I think he was massively overrated. But that could be a.
He was definitely down to set pieces when he.
Actually, Cashley was able to do the defending aspect as well as the attacking aspect.
He
Whereas
was a modern fullback before a modern fullback was a thing.
Yeah, whereas Roberto Carlos wasn't that good at defending, but could smack a free kick like nothing else. So
Thing is, with Ashley Cole, it's interesting to look at the amount of games played for both clubs. There's only 110 games more played for Chelsea than there was Arsenal, and to have any more over 600 games between the two clubs,
Something like that, yeah.
that's incredible. Because I know,
I thought you would have had best games for.
I think it was 330 to 210, something like that.
Yeah.
Games played.
But no, yeah, I mean, yeah, like this probably is the easiest decision on the entire thing. Like, he's not only just the best left back to play for the two clubs, he's also the best left back to ever play in the Premier League. So I think that. So we'll do this two centre backs as a partnership. I have a rough idea in my head about what I would say it is, but
I know what he's going to go for, but
I think I know what he's going to go for. But I think
yeah.
Go on then. So we'll come to Kieran first, as I went first last time. Who is your centre back partnership?
First one obviously got to be John Terry. I think again that's another really easy one. And then for me, I have to put an Arsenal one in here because we've had some great ones. You know, we had Martin Keown, we had Tony Adams, but didn't really play that many minutes in the Prem. But for me, it has to be John Terry and Sol Campbell.
Yeah,
as a defensive duo.
The exact same as I had in my head. Yeah, I don't think we need to really go much into like we would we agree that John Terry is still probably the best to ever do it in the Prem?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think Van Dijk's overtaken him now. I think John Terry has a much bigger trophy cabinet.
Longevity.
He obviously played for a lot longer. But Van Dijk, man, in his prime, man, no defender laces his boots, man. As much as John Terry was good, man, you can't.
See, the thing is, my argument for that is, and I know it's something so small to think about, but Van Dijk's got pace behind him, which helps him keep up with the attackers. John Terry didn't have the pace behind him, which shows his defensive abilities and awareness to keep the record and the man he was. You could sit there and go, he's going to get outpaced by someone like Cristiano Ronaldo at United. But he will put himself in the position to make sure Ronaldo don't get past him.
Yeah, but then he has Carvalho behind him, then, no?
Sorry?
Yes, was it Carvalho?
Yeah,
the other one, like the Portuguese? Yeah, him behind him. Who was the quicker one?
Yeah, but Terry was the more dominant of the two. If you were to sit there and say, out of Carvalho and Terry, if you missed one of them, who are you missing more? Anybody with a good strength behind him would miss Terry more.
100%.
Because Carvalho was more of a press forward and Terry sit back. Now, you could have anyone sit there and go towards the midfield. But it's your last line of defence. And having Terry as that last line of defence, I would rather him and in his prime than Virgil van Dijk in his prime. Because Van Dijk, as good and as strong as he is now, I still think he has specific mindsets in a defensive awareness that Terry possesses better. I think Terry's positional awareness of the game as a whole, he was such a complete centre-back. You can't override that, to be honest.
But does John Terry have an icon on Ultimate Team? That's a real question. No, I'm joking. Look, it's a debate that I think it's a debate that no one's ever going to be able to settle.
Yeah,
Everyone's going to have one.
It's very difficult. Like when there are so many players that can be up for a shout for the best to ever do it in the league, it's such an interesting conversation to have because everyone is going to say something different. See, for me, I would love to stick Van Dijk up there, but I think for me it's still John Terry. I think Van Dijk has done enough to get in the top 5, but I don't think he's done enough to be the best. Yeah, that's all I had to say. Can I have your centre back partnership, please, Dan?
So Terry, obvious, hands down, no shadow about it. Before I say this other centre back, Kieran, who did you think I was going to say?
Cavallo.
No, I
No.
have an inkling about who I think you're going to say.
Who was that?
Gary Cahill.
No.
Okay.
I'm stuck between Saliba and Sol Campbell. For the simple fact of today's game, the way he's been playing for Arsenal, I'm going to put Saliba in there because he's got time to prove himself as well. But he has been such a pivotal player for your defence. I think he's going to go down as one of the best defenders in the league by the end of his career.
I agree, but if an Arsenal fan is making this face to that, I still think it's a little bit too soon to be putting Saliba into this conversation at the moment. But listen, hey, I'm not gonna try and doubt it.
If I was to pick
I know my
See, as you said, Sol Campbell, Invincibles, unbelievable. But the game back then compared to the game now, a completely different game.
It was harder.
It's harder now.
That's why I put Saliba in there. Because I think if Saliba was playing when the Invincibles was playing, we would have put him above Sol Campbell. Let's be honest.
So again, it's another conversation we'll never have. I'm waiting until Saliba does at least 5 years at Arsenal before I chuck him into this conversation. But he's definitely on course to.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I genuinely put him into the top 10 best Premier League defenders of all time at the moment. I think he's warranted that, but he's not.
After what, 3 seasons?
About 3.5.
Yeah.
Because I've seen enough. Like there was a lot of debate between Ruben Diaz and Van Dijk. Ruben Diaz is average, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because Man City were winning
everything.
everything.
I think Saliba has been the player that's like has made everyone click that's saying like, you know what, Diaz is actually quite average. And
the reason why I'm saying Saliba is because I don't think if you didn't have Saliba in your defence, I don't think that your table positioning would have been the same over the last 2-3 years.
Well, you also have to remember when he got injured in the Europa League against Sporting, the whole season capitulated. But again, I don't know. It's a hard debate because I never really saw if Sol Campbell got injured and the effect it had on Arsenal at that point. So I was alive and kicking, but I don't really remember any of it.
Yeah.
But I still saw my team win the Premier League in colour, Connor. Yeah, call him out again.
I love it. Well, I mean, yeah. So I think the back 5. So we've gone with Cech, Ivanovic. I think Dan would be happy to concede for Sol Campbell as he was there. So we'll go Cech, Ivanovic, Terry, Campbell, Ashley Cole. What would you prefer for the midfield? Would you prefer the 4 or the 3?
I prefer the 4.
I prefer the 3 because it gives more space to put some players in that I wouldn't be able to put in if it was a 4.
I say the same thing about the 4 because of the attack in the wide midfield.
2 strikers, bro. Shove your Drogba up your ass.
I do want 2 strikers, but I also want a left mid over a cap.
Yeah, but you can also put, if you really want your striker, I can put mine at left wing because he did also play there as well.
See, if we go with the 3, left mid I want in the 4, I'd want to put as the cam.
The thing is, why don't I do my centre mid 3 and you do your 4? And then pick which one he thinks is better.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do the 3 first then.
Crack on first then, yeah.
Do the 3 first then. Do it all together.
Okay, so for me, Vieira has to be in this midfield, without a doubt. Lampard obviously has to be in this midfield. And then I think Dennis Bergkamp has to be in that cam position because apart from Thierry Henry, some people also say Dennis Bergkamp is the greatest Premier League player of all time. Like, he changed that role completely. And that goal against Newcastle, never seen a more beautiful goal than that.
He just made it look.
Yeah,
easy.
that's my three.
He just made he made the game look so easy.
Odegaard looks like a regen of Bergkamp.
I can see it.
That might be a wild thing, but it's
I
like
can see it.
the passing does and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the route that you were going to take. Okay, Dan, can I have your midfield 4?
Lampard and Vieira.
So on.
I knew exactly where you were going with that, Kieran, and I completely agree with you. Now, the cam, fair enough. I would have put Hazard in, but obviously he didn't play as a cam. He played as a left mid, left wing, which is why I wanted the 4. And then the right mid, let's say William. I'm going to say William because of... right, so hear me out, yeah? I'm saying William because Palmer's been up with us for 2 seasons.
Yeah, he can't be in
Saka, he can't be in it. Saka, I still think has more to prove than what he's already proven at the moment. But William won trophies with us, and he's actually quite an important role in the attack. So I'm saying William, but obviously Saka is there as well.
You completely missed one player who absolutely kicks Willian's ass.
Yeah, I think I know who you're on about.
Alexis Sanchez, my
I was
boy.
even going to go there.
Yeah, but
I was even going to go there.
Alexis Sanchez is on the left though.
No, right mid, mate. Right wing striker. That's where he played.
Did he not play left wing?
Nah.
I was going to.
He was a right wing when he first came in. He might have played left wing a few times, but primarily a right wing his first season, and then third season I think he converted into a striker.
I mean, I think you're missing a big name in that kind of role.
Unless you're thinking about Pires.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about.
I still wouldn't put Pires in. I'll be real.
No.
As good as Pires was, I genuinely put Saka above Pires.
No, yeah. I think for Dan, I would say that I think Saka has done enough to be warrant in this
100%.
in this kind of situation because
He's got like
I think that on the right hand side has never really been the strongest suit for either team.
No.
And Saka is I mean he's done enough in my opinion.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure Saka's got either just under the amount of appearances Willian has in the Prem, and I'm pretty sure he's already overdone his goals and assists in his entire Prem thing. But also, by the way, Pires was a left mid, not a right mid.
Yeah, but it's similar role, isn't it? But also,
my
go on, Dan.
My question towards you is: if I went for a 3 and I put Hazard at the cam, would you let that go, or would you say no?
No, because I think Dennis Bergkamp was a better footballer than Hazard.
Like, would you allow me to put him in that position?
Yeah.
Then I will go with a 3, and instead of Bergkamp, I will put Eden Hazard. But then I've still got the right wing and left wing.
Now it's down to Zach to decide between Bergkamp and Hazard.
So, I think everyone who knows me on social media knows that I'm sick and tired of this Hazard Salah debate. To put it brutally honestly with Hazard, for me he only had 2 very good seasons and he was average for the rest. Like Hazard was a player that when he's on his game he's phenomenal, but it was difficult for him to find that
balance.
Yeah. So I would go Bergkamp over Hazard.
Fair enough. But what we will say is, without Hazard in those 2 seasons playing the way he was, would we have done what we did as a club? Let's be completely honest.
I think yes, because I think you had a very good side still around him. I think Oscar is criminally underrated. I think
agreed.
he's criminally underrated. You had over the years, Chelsea have had very good attack-minded players. But like Kieran said, I think Dennis Bergkamp, he revolutionised the position, and you can't go against that.
I would also put Mesut Ozil in that cam role ahead of.
I was going to say Mesut Ozil.
Right, front 3 now. I think we bloody better have the same front 3 to make this easier.
You know what, Kieran? We'll go with you first. We'll do like the entire front three all together.
Okay. Dan's not gonna like this. Dan is not gonna like this at all. No, I'm because Arsenal and Chelsea have had two of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. I will put Thierry Henry at left wing because he also did play there in his career. Drogba as a striker, and then I'm stuck between Saka and Sanchez at right wing because they both bring me so much joy. But as good as as much as I love Saka right here right now, Sanchez for me is still the best player I've seen during the Emirates era.
Mhm.
But he also snaked it, so I'll probably have to go with Saka at the moment based on that.
Okay. And Dan, your front three, please.
It's the exact same.
Okay, cool. I mean, I was hoping
Exactly.
it was going to be the same. Yeah, I mean, Henry, still he's the greatest to ever do it in the Prem. Like
He is. When people think of Premier League, they think of Thierry Henry.
And I don't like this whole facade that like it's not even coming from Liverpool fans. It's actually coming from a lot of rival fans that people are actually like trying to force Salah into the conversation of being the best to ever do it. I think he's the best right wing to ever do it. Best player,
Yeah.
no.
The thing is as I think Thierry Henry was an incredible finisher, but I think Salah is a little bit better on the finishing side of things.
Yeah.
But Thierry Henry also did the assist side of it as well. Like I think the fact that he also got, I think he got like 30 plus goals and 20 assists in a single campaign. Like, come on, you're not seeing Salah do that.
And also going on, we've already spoke about Saka, so we don't need to go about that. But Drogba for me, Mr. Big Game. Like, if you're gonna like if there was one player in the Premier League era that you bring on to get you a winning goal, it's Drogba. Like he's Mr. Clutch, he's Mr. Knee slide. Like genuinely, how good. Like Drogba doesn't get spoke about enough. Like I think he's better than Harry Kane. He's better than Aguero.
Yeah.
He's better than Aguero.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably say only Henry and Rooney probably better than Drogba in Premier League.
Yeah.
So I'd say he's third best of all time.
But I would still put Drogba as a better finisher than Wayne Rooney.
Oh,
I think the thing is Thierry Henry and Rooney had better. Like if you thought of goals, you go Thierry Henry against Man United, Thierry Henry against Spurs, Liverpool. You got Rooney halfway line, overhead kick. Drogba doesn't have one of those goals where you can go, that goal was crazy because he was a bit of a tap-in merchant, but that's what his job was. Yeah. And he was always, like 9 times out of 10, if Drogba's on the end of the ball, that's going in the back of the net. Yeah. So
it goes back to our conversation earlier about Erling Haaland. Everyone sings his praises when he scores, but says nothing when he doesn't. But if you look at the two players, Haaland's job is to get in behind that defence and put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Drogba was the best I've ever seen do such a thing. He managed his runs, he found the space, and he was so clinical. If he was winding up a shot, we were celebrating before it went in the back of the net. I mean, look at him in the Champions League. He deserved to hold that trophy.
Yeah,
he deserved it.
Yeah, 100%.
I've got a quick question for Chelsea fans though. When he came back for that season, did that tarnish people's memory of him a little bit? Because he was a bit shit.
No, I don't think it did. I think it was more of a welcome back and a thank you plaudit for that season. Obviously, it was a bit hard to watch that he didn't live up to the same expectations as before. But you've just got to give a man like him the credits and the plaudits and just show your appreciation. All right, he may have dropped a little bit in that season, but we were still able to sit there and go, thank you for the memories of the seasons before. And you look at like Cristiano Ronaldo when he came back to United, completely different story. He was tarnished the whole season. He was 2 seasons that he was there. He wasn't given the credibility that he could have had. Whereas Drogba coming back, we sat there and we appreciated him, not for what he was able to do then, but what he had done for the club. So I don't think it tarnished his name at all because he's still in this conversation that we're having right now.
That's very true. Very true. Yeah, no.
It is indeed.
I think that's about everything.
I think we're missing one thing.
Okay, what's that?
Is it manager?
Manager.
Arsene Wenger. Let's move on.
Mourinho.
Not a fucking chance. Not a fucking chance.
I'm not going to say anything. Kieran, don't say anything. I want to hear Zach's point of view as a neutral.
I'm gonna order a Mackey's because it's about to get tasty.
See, when it comes to Mourinho, I have a little bit of bias against him because he was Man United manager.
Just think about the club itself.
I think we're talking about the second and third greatest managers of all time in the Prem.
You're not putting Pep above them two, no?
Oh, I did forget. Yeah, actually no.
I would have Pep.
Third and fourth then.
See, I'd put him as joint third. I don't think you can put one above the other.
I think that. See, where Arsenal and Wenger have the Invincibles, Chelsea have the 15 goals. Like it's quite.
I think. Let me. I'm gonna be like both sides here. So like, obviously what you just said, Arsene Wenger Invincibles, Chelsea the 15 goals. The only reason why I say Arsene Wenger would be above Mourinho, because when people think about Mourinho, they think about what he did at Porto, Inter, Madrid, Chelsea. Arsene Wenger, one, pretty much low-key transformed the entire Premier League with how he did things. Two, changed the culture at Arsenal, like the way players were consuming food and all that stuff. And how long he was in the Prem for, I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't win the fancy trophies that Mourinho's done in his career, but, like, when people think about Arsenal, they think, oh, it was named after Arsene Wenger. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think also as well that a lot of Mourinho's top tier success came away from Chelsea. Like he didn't win the Champions League with them. He did win. How many was it? 3 league titles with Chelsea.
3. No, wait, no.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up.
04, 05, 05, 06 and.
Oh yeah, 3.
15, no, yeah, was it 15, 16?
No, wait, yeah. No, it was a season. No, it was a season. It was a season that Diego Costa had a madness.
Yeah,
I think it might have been Diego
I
Costa.
can roughly remember.
I think it was FIFA 15. That's how I base it off. I think it was FIFA 15 that they won it again.
Blue shirt, Adidas with the white strip.
White, yeah.
And it was like a darker shade of blue, lighter shade of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like John Terry's last season there as well.
Yeah,
No.
It was.
No.
Okay. I think he played 2 more under Conte. I think.
But no, yeah. So yeah, like I'm gonna edge at Wenger. Just off the part of I think that Mourinho's success, his top tier success, came away from Chelsea. Like he won the league titles, but so did Wenger and Mourinho. I think Mourinho, if we're talking as a whole, I would go Mourinho, but just in the Premier League, yeah, it would be Wenger for me.
That's fair enough.
I think that's. I don't think there's too many positions and choices we can disagree on there.
It's a little bit of a tangent. So, we've got ourselves a top 4 of when it comes to managers. So we've got Fergie, Pep, Wenger, Mourinho, in whatever order anyone wants to do. Would you put Klopp as the 5th one?
Ooh.
Genuine question.
You know what's it? I'm going to get slandered for this. I had Klopp in there, and that was my top 4. I'd completely forgotten about Fergie. I had completely forgotten about Fergie.
Wow, Dan. Wow. Yeah. Azar and Eric coming for you now.
yeah,
hold on.
I'm sending him this clip.
Agreed. I had completely forgot. When we mentioned top 3, top 4,
yeah,
I was thinking Pep, Klopp as the top 2.
No, I would definitely put Klopp in there. The only thing, I think this is what Liverpool shit themselves on, is if Arteta wins a Premier League, he outdoes Klopp's, he equals Klopp's Premier League legacy.
Premier League record.
If Slot wins a Champions League, he equals Klopp's Champions League legacy at Liverpool.
The thing is, it's only the one aspect though. Like with Klopp, it was different because he won everything. Yes, he only won he won it once and he won 2 League Cups, but he did win everything. So that's why, like especially when it comes to like Arteta, I don't think him winning a Premier League or a Champions League then gets him level with Klopp because Klopp did that back-to-back seasons. Also,
How many seasons do you have Klopp?
8, I believe.
It was 8, wasn't it?
Yeah. 8,
Yeah.
So in theory, think of it like this: Arteta will not. I don't think it's possible for him to be cut by the same club, because in the next 3 years, Arteta will need to win everything.
Admittedly, though, it did take Klopp 4 seasons to win a trophy. It did.
The
Take
thing
So
is,
4 seasons.
it was this season, in Arteta's eyes, that he won something.
Yeah.
Let's
well,
be.
he's already ticked off the FA Cup and Community Shield. It's just the other ones. But like Champions League, I don't see Arsenal winning that for a little more. I'm saying hopefully within the next 10 years, I see Arsenal win at least 2 Prem titles, 1 Champions League, and a couple of League Cups and FA Cups. But I can't turn around and say within the next 3 years he's going to equal Klopp's legacy. Not a chance. But he had a better start to a manager at Arsenal than Klopp did at Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%. Like the thing with Klopp's first season as well is that people seem to forget he did get that absolutely a shambolic team to 2 cup finals that season.
Yeah.
Was it worse than Arsenal's Arteta?
I would say yes, because the players that we had that were okay were still.
Oh, you want to go ban for banter teams? Nah, come, let's do it.
Okay, who was your keeper?
Leno.
Mignolet.
I would take Mignolet over Leno.
He was shite.
He had a really good period though.
His first season for Liverpool, in that 13-14 season, he was good. After that, shite.
Your whole entire defense was better than ours, so that we can skip over.
So did you have? Who was your right back?
Jenkinson.
Glenn Johnson.
Bro, I'd rather Glenn Johnson, bro. Glenn Johnson had more.
I'd rather a 3-back.
Huh?
I'd rather a 3-back.
Yeah.
You can have a 3-back and you'd still get all your defenders in there, bro. I can't make a case for Mustafi, David Luiz, or Socrates.
I mean,
No chance.
We had Sacco and fucking.
You had Skirtle.
Yeah, Skirtle. But
And
Skirtle,
Agger.
like, at the, Agger retired by then.
Mate.
Agger was good. Agger was good. I won't hear anything. Agger was fucking phenomenal.
When I go to Slovakia, all they talk about is fucking Skirtle, bro.
Yeah,
they love Skirtle.
He's the best Slovakian player ever.
Oh,
I'll hold it. Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
over Hamshik.
Yep.
Now you're moving mad, my boy. You're moving mad. You're moving mad.
That's crazy. A crazy outtake.
Nah, that is getting clipped and you're getting ridiculed. That is crazy.
I don't care.
Mate,
but that Skirtle that Klopp had, he was like literally like on his.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Skriniar at PSG is better than Skirtle. So the fact you're saying he's better than Hamsik, crazy.
Skriniar is overrated as
crazy.
And then obviously like Sacco, donkey, absolute donkey. Like every time I watched him, my eyes hurt. He was so bad, and
Lovren.
Yeah, Lovren didn't play. Lovren was signed by Klopp.
Mate, I'd still have Lovren over Mustafi.
Oh, Lovren was good. Lovren was good. But I've got you beat on. I've got you beat on the left back.
Oh, say swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
You ain't even gonna know who he is. Ali Sissoko, mate.
Ali Sissoko.
Ali Sissoko. The fact that you didn't even know who he is, I win that one. He was so bad. So bad.
All right, fair enough. Midfield. Oh,
your midfield was all right, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was Mesut Ozil that was coming like end of his career.
So
Torreira was in his homesick phase, so he was dog, and then Danny Ceballos.
Yeah, I mean Ceballos.
Yeah.
I mean, we had Gerrard on his last legs.
Emre Can though just coming out.
Emre Can left by them.
No, he hadn't.
I
He
think
played
that-
one
wait,
season
no,
with him.
That was the season that Klopp took over was his last season for Liverpool, and I really
Yeah,
liked
so
Emre Can.
he goes into a midfield then.
He didn't play. He didn't play. In
Yeah.
if we're talking the first team, he wasn't in that team. The midfield for Klopp's first team was Gerrard, Henderson, and Coutinho.
Where I swear down, you guys still. He loved Lallana though, innit?
Lallana played left.
He also loved. Oh, who else was that other shit? Alan.
Alan, he may have played. I can't really remember that without having it in front of me. But I know that Emre Can, for the first couple of games of Klopp's era, he was more of a bench player until he hit that 17-18 season for Emre Can was his best season. Where like he was phenomenal that season. And then front three. I think it was Lallana, Jordan Ibe, and injury Daniel Sturridge, with Christian Benteke knocking on the door.
Yeah, no, I think our attack was better, but overall,
I mean, I think your midfield edges it. I think your attack was better, but I think our defense was marginally better.
your midfield was better. What are you on about?
What, Jordan Henderson who just passed sideways and backwards, Gerrard who couldn't run, and Coutinho.
Mate, I would rather have that three than Ceballos, Torreira, and a broken Mesut Ozil. Thank you very much.
I mean, we have a third party. Go on, Dan.
Liverpool's was better.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was you, bro. Our midfield was dross, bro. That is trenches, Dan. That's trenches.
I'll be completely honest. If you look at those three, the three midfielders there, you've got Henderson and Gerrard, who questionable in that season, but they were still that helped the clogs turn. You know, like they were there to control specifics in the game.
They let Coutinho do his thing.
You know what I mean? And Coutinho, as self, takes over the whole of that Arsenal midfield. There's no offence to Ozil in that period.
No, he was off it. Mesut Ozil was off it then.
When Coutinho left, I was really angry that he left in the way he did. But I miss him, man. Like, he was so fucking good.
Are you like me?
Are
you like me? I think he's playing the guitar at the moment.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He did.
It's the guitar league, bro.
He didn't.
I could probably do well out there.
But he didn't actually do that bad for Villa. He didn't do bad for Villa.
No, he didn't.
No,
I think he was painfully average at Villa, but he had a good start. So that's what people think about. But where you see Coutinho, is it the same way that I see Sanchez? Where I'm like, you're a fucking rat for the way you left. But if you were coming back in the same person that we sold, I'd take you right here, right now.
Probably.
Yeah. Pagans, but
and I think similarities with Luis Suarez and Van Persie.
No.
I can't stand Suarez. Can't stand him.
No, I wouldn't accept Van Persie back within a fucking second.
That's
Fuck
what I mean.
him.
That's what I mean. That's the same with me with Suarez.
Robin Van Pagan. That's what we call him. Robin Van Pagan.
Like, there's one thing leaving the club in the shit and then celebrating against them. It's unwritten rule in football. You don't celebrate against a club that made you.
I mean, I think you don't. Yeah, no. Kai Havertz was warranted because you might treat him like shit the whole time he was there.
Yeah, and then he offside. Offside.
Red card, bro. Don't chat shit about my donkey. That's my donkey now.
Exactly.
That's my donkey now.
Trash.
Right.
So who's got more goals this season? Havertz or Jenkinson? Jackson, sorry?
I was going to say Jenkinson. What?
Yeah, no, I'm tripping now. I'm tripping now.
Right. I think we have covered everything.
I think we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's valid.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. I will leave links to Dan and Kieran in the description down below, and I'll see you next Monday for another episode of the Build Different podcast. Say goodbye, people.
Adios,